What is up, FPG fam? Further here, and for today's video I wanted to simply share with you the things that I find to be really important inside the game of Wuthering Waves. I've been putting a lot of hours into this game. I've been streaming it nearly every day, which by the way I want to take the opportunity to quickly mention, if you're a regular on the streams, thank you so much. I do truly appreciate your support. We've been curating such a tight-knit family and community over there, so if you're a regular of the streams and watching this video right now, thank you so much. I do truly appreciate your support. And if you haven't caught a stream, make sure you stop by, have notifications turned on. Also, if this video is helpful, drop a like, sub if you do. Would love to have you join the FPG fam. It's a great time over here. Now, with that being said, I digress. We're going to go ahead and get into the things that I find to be really important inside this game of Wuthering Waves that I wanted to share with you all. I want to try and be really precise and cut out all the fluff, so we're just going to get straight into it. The first thing that I did want to go ahead and speak about is the Resonance Terminal. The reason being is because I believe this is the foundation that everything is built off of. And initially when I started the game of Wuthering Waves, I didn't realize how important this is, but this is incredibly important. So with your Resonance Terminal, this is your Pokegourd that we call it on stream. This is the ability to catch echoes. Now, as you can see, there's drop percentage chance here. This is incredibly important because when you level your data level up for your terminal, for your resonance, this allows you to increase your drop percentage chance of collecting said echoes in the world. Now, when you first start the game, you have your standard, elite, then you have your overlord and calamity. At the beginning, you don't even have a drop percentage chance to get overlord or calamity. This is like your rarity for your echoes. So it is extremely important to make sure you're leveling this up as much as possible, so that way you're increasing your drop chance for your echoes, and then you get the ability to get rare echoes, so that way when you're putting them together, you're getting better substats, you're getting better combinations and things of that nature. We're going to go in depth about the echoes because this is the second thing that's going to be important. But the way you can level this data level up is by naturally collecting echoes out in the world. Is going to increase this. As we come over here, you can see in the terminal data, this is like your Pokédex. You're going to collect echoes, and that's going to increase your data level, but also leveling your echoes up increases your data level. Now, I will say, just as a precursor, not to just willy-nilly level any echoes up just to level your data level up. I think that's a waste of resources. Rather, I believe you should level up your echoes that are going to be beneficial to your resonators and are going to lead to good combinations that are going to yield better results. And then maybe towards the end game, you can then level up different echoes, random echoes, to then increase your data level to eke out some more levels here. But in the beginning, just level up the ones that are going to be important for your resonators, that are going to be the most beneficial, so that way you're not wasting resources, and then later down the road maybe you can go crazy with it. But like I mentioned, once you start leveling this up, you can then unlock the Overlord and Calamity for a small drop chance, and then get better drop chances for Elite and Standard, so that way you can put better combinations together. So with that being said, this is now going to lead to speaking about echoes, and we're going to do a full breakdown here. And once again, I'm just going to try and be as precise as possible. Your echoes is going to be the end game. This is what separates Wuthering Waves from other open world games. It's very in-depth, and I love what they did here. It's extremely unique because there's so many different benefits tied to this ecosystem and so many different combinations that you could put together. But essentially, in the simplest terms, you have a tonic spot and you have a consonant spot, and this is all unique to each resonator. So each resonator is going to have their own combination of echoes. Now, in the tonic spot, this is going to be your main echo, I like to put it. This is where you're going to be using the said echo in the tonic spot on said resonator. When you press your Q, you're going to get these benefits right here, and then you get the benefit of their main stat, which on the crown list is crit rate for my Don Jin. But you don't get any of the benefits of their substats for the consonant that you see right here, because they have to be in the consonant spot in order to get this. Speaking about the consonant spot, you have 4 of them, and this is where you're going to put the 4 echoes here, and you're going to get the benefits of their substats for the consonant spot, but you don't get the benefit of what they do because they're not in the tonic spot to be able to be used. You can only use 1, and you don't get the benefit of their main stat. As you can see right here is the havoc damage bonus. Now, when you start to put these echoes together, you then get other benefits, which are called Sonata. Now, as you can see with this individual right here, each echo has their own different combinations, and they vary with each echo. As you can see, this one only has 2. This one has 4, which is incredible. This one has 3. So each of them have their own different amount of combinations that you could put together, but each combination has different benefits. As you can see, when you have these 4 echoes together, you get the forgotten movement, and you can see the benefits that you get here. If you have these three together, you have the deep scale and you get these benefits, and you can see you can have more than one benefit activated at one time as long as you have the echoes. Now, I did want to go ahead and point out, if you have, let's say for example, that's not a good example, this one's a good example right here. You see I have 3 of the 4, but I don't have this 4th one. It has a question mark, meaning I have not encountered this enemy and I haven't captured it in order to complete this set, so that way you get the benefit. One mistake that I made is that I thought I had 3 and I can just slap these 3 together and get these benefits, but I was mistaken. You have to have this 4th one and complete the set in order to get the benefit. So you have to make sure you're paying attention. Now, the 3, I can get the Gale Scale, that's a mouthful, and I can get this benefit right here. But you have to find, defeat, and capture the enemy and then be able to get the benefits of this. So keep that in mind. So the ecosystem is very in-depth and it's very unique. And what makes it very unique is just all dependent on the combinations that you want to put together. And the best example that I could put together here is like with my crown list and the tambourine guy right here. So my crown list, I can either have him in the tonic spot and get the crit rate and his benefits, or I can have him in the consonant spot and I can get the benefit of the crit damage and the resonance efficiency. And then I could switch him for the tambourine guy, put the tambourine guy there so I can get the havoc damage bonus and his benefits, but miss out on the substats right here. So it's just going to be some testing, some switching around and trying different combinations to see which is going to work best for you and best for your resonators. And that's what's so cool about the ecosystem, is that it gives you a reason to go out and explore the world. It gives you a reason to stop and fight random enemies out in the world, to try and collect echoes, so that way you can put them together, level them up, upgrade them, you can tune them. It's just a lot of fun, and there's reasons to get dupes so that way you can tune them and build them up and things of that nature, and find different combinations and make sure that you're collecting them all. It's literally a catch 'em all type of system here that's so unique and just different, and I really do like it. So that is the ecosystem, super important. If you have any further questions about that, let me know in the comments down below. I'll try and answer it to the best of my abilities. So moving on from there, the next thing that I did want to mention is the skill tree. So the skill tree is really cool. I like how they did this in Wuthering Waves. Now, one thing that I didn't realize when I first was playing the game is the skill points. I had no clue how you level your skill tree up. I thought it was an item that you might get in the open world, opening chests, going to the souvenir shop, the shop in the game. I could not figure out how to get skill points. It took me realizing that when you click on an actual skill, any of them here, you can upgrade them by just simply hitting this button, and you have the upgrade materials, which you go into the domains to get the materials, and they're on specific days, just like another game. You can see you can only collect this on Monday, Thursday, or Sunday, and then these are just materials that you get out in the open world by fighting enemies, and you can get in the shop as well. But you use these materials that are unique to your different characters and you level them up, and then you start unlocking the skill tree. Now, when you start leveling up your core skills, here is what I like to call them, you then generate the skill points. So that's how you get the skill points that you then use towards these unlockable skills right here. Now, what's really cool is that every resonator has 2 skills on their skill tree, which I'll show you, that are unique from the other skills here. What I mean by that is that each skill right here has, for example, increase attack by 1.5%, increase havoc damage by 1.5%. Every resonator has this naturally built into their skill tree, but they also have unique skills that are specific to themselves. So for Donjin here, you have Overflow, which you can see is just beneficial to her natural core skills right here. And then she has another one, Scarlet Ray, that increases her attack by 15% for 15 seconds after using Malice Strike, which is again unique to her core skill. Each resonator has this, and I'll show examples of that here in just a moment. Now, the other thing that I did want to mention is as you start to level up your core skills, your core passive, or your passive skill, I should say, naturally or passively levels up as well. So you don't have to level this up. It passively levels up. So that is the skill tree, and let me go ahead and show you some examples. So we saw Danjin, so let's go over to Jiyan. If we go over to Jiyan, and you can see the you know that it's the main skill on the skill tree because they're larger than the other ones. You can see that these are smaller than this one right here. And just to show you, increase attack by 1.5%, 1.5% increase arrow damage. So that's the same, similar to Danjin, except Danjin was Havoc. And then if we go over here, you can see that you have skydiving. This is specific to Jiyan. And then this one, converging winds, specific to Jiyan. So each resonator has that, which I find that to be incredibly cool because that means that every resonator is going to be unique. Now, the next thing that I did want to mention in regards to the skill tree is the passive skill. And this is incredibly important that you want to make sure if you're maining a resonator or you're putting a few resonators together that are your favorite, that you have a full understanding of their passive skill, because the core passive skill are all unique to each resonator. Once again, this leads to why Wuthering Waves is such an awesome game, is because the technicality of mastering a specific resonator is unique to each of them, and it takes some time to understand their kit and to learn them and master them. So if we use Danjin here as an example, the core passive right here, the heavy attack Scarlet Chaos, when her bar is full, you can then use the charge attack to then get some healing, because when you use Danjin, you want to use her skill, which decreases your HP to get more attack output. So to be able to do more damage, you have to sacrifice your HP in a sense. But if your bar is full, you can then, your core passive bar above her health is full, you can then do the charge attack and you can actually get that HP back. So she's self-efficient that way. And it's a very nice synergistic kit. Once again, this is all unique to every single resonator in the game. So if you're trying to master Sen Hua, you want to make sure you have a better understanding or a clear understanding of what her passive skill is, because that is going to be very instrumental on how effective that resonator is for you and how well you do with them in game. If you don't have a clear understanding of their core passive skill, then you're not going to get the full benefits out of that resonator. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully that wasn't too convoluted. But anyways, guys, those are the things that I did want to just go ahead and mention that I find to be extremely important, that the game doesn't really, in my opinion, outright states to you. I mean, I'm sure there's like a guide in there somewhere, but it just, for me, wasn't like fully clear on those things in particular. So I did want to go ahead and mention that and share that with you. So hopefully that helped, and hopefully you have a better understanding for when you officially play the game, or if you're in the closed beta, hopefully that helps as well. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name is Cody. You call me further. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.